Greetings from the beach head again. I'm back from my conference in Portugal. I had a marvelous time. I had a really, really great time. I'm a bit sleepy or jet lagged because the last plane in to Daytona Beach last night was delayed, and so I didn't arrive in Daytona Beach till 12:30, and then we have another half hour or so to get home. And then I was excited and had to pull out all my souvenirs to show my husband. And so when push came to shove, it was a really late night, and I am like a rooster. When the sun came up this morning, I was awake at about 6:30. So I've been awake. I've been catching up with Twitter. What I'm going to do now is a debrief on the skincare I brought with me. I brought those MyChelle products, and I wanted to talk a little bit about those. But before I do that, I want to talk about my hat, because I have a new hat. And this is by Adolfo Dominguez. It is not a Portuguese product. It was designed in Spain and made in Italy. It is all of sustainable materials, and it is part of their climate project. So I saw this at the little airport store at the Porto airport, and I had to have it. There were a couple of others I had to have, but I left them on the rack, and now I'm kicking myself. But I just didn't have enough room in my suitcase, and as it was, I had to wear this one on my head home because there was no way of fitting it into my suitcase. So the MyChelle products. First of all, I want to say that Portugal was a real challenge for my skin. I had been at the beach in the humid climate, and my skin was pretty darn happy and normal. And when I got to Portugal, I not only had the stress of the airplane, but the climate was drier there. So I was really struggling again with dry skin, which is what I struggle with. And even a little bit with a breakout or two, although nothing to write home about. You probably couldn't see them, and the only reason I saw them is they had one of those wonderful gigantic mirrors in the bathroom at the hotel. And so I saw everything. I really need to get one of those for home. I have one, but the one I have is a standing one, and the glass isn't as good. When I use those ones in hotels that have the really good mirror, I'm always impressed with how much I can see, especially since my eyes are so bad. I'm looking at the battery on my computer and thinking, I need to get through this because I'm almost out of juice. So let me get started. First of all, I took a bunch of serums with me, and I'm kind of a serum freak, so I really enjoy serums. So debrief on the serums. There is this apple brightening serum. Now, first of all, I didn't use this for long enough to be able to see. And the other thing I forgot to tell you is that because of the summer, I'm having horrendous problems with these spots. Covering them is getting to be a real problem. This is the hyperpigmentation, so I really want to try and work on that hyperpigmentation because it comes up big time in the summer. This is the MyChelle product. It has phenoxyethanol, so not going to use that serum. That was number one. There were a couple of other of their serums that have the Japanese honeysuckle. So if people are watching for those would not be good products. The G2 Instant Firming product is one of them. The No Tox is one of them. They also have a vitamin A serum, which I didn't try, but that would be good for people in their 30s. And those vitamin A products had the Japanese honeysuckle. So again, the No Tox, what they call their No Tox, which is a wrinkle product, their Instant Firming G2 and their vitamin A all contain the Japanese honeysuckle, and their apple brightening actually contains phenoxyethanol. Their hyaluronic products were fine. Their hyaluronic products were the ones that I would be more inclined to use anyway. Those are the ones that addressed moisture. And I had a good situation to try and address the moisture, and I can say that I've used better serums. I really like to use serums. I use serums a lot to address particular issues, either hyperpigmentation. I use them particularly a lot, serums and oils, to address dehydration and wrinkles. Of all of these, I might be inclined to have a C serum. I didn't try it, but I have other good C products. If I were going to try anything, it would be their hyaluronic serums, but they're not the top on my list. There are other serums I like better. One Love Organic has one, for example, that I like quite a bit, and I would probably get it first. I tried samples of that earlier in the spring and found that worked quite well. So I'm probably going to pass on the MyChelle serums. I still really like their foundation. I think their foundation for late fall and winter is going to work quite well for me because it was moisturizing. I used it in the spring, the mid-spring, and it seemed to do well. I did have some more. I saved a wee bit of that Vapor Organic foundation, and I was glad I did because I used that in Portugal. And it did indeed confirm for me what I suspected, which is that that is a foundation that would not work for me in the winter. It dried. The other products I used 2 of their cleansers. I can't find the other one. Don't know. Somehow I just gotten lost in the madness that is unpacking. But I used their fruit enzyme cleanser and then a pumpkin cleanser. And the pumpkin was supposed to be hydrating. And again, these were products I'll pass on. I just have better cleansers. The pumpkin cleanser was not that hydrating, and the fresh enzyme cleanser was okay, but I really do need some sort of hydrating cleanser. I have been using the Shea Terra this past couple of weeks before I left, and those are super moisturizing. Now, I was also trying those at the beach, but even so, I can tell those are much more hydrating for me. So those are some products I am going to try. Likewise, I brought the little spritzer, and I have to say, I was really excited to have this little spritzer. It's the pumpkin hydrating mist, and I used it all within like 3 days because I was just so dry. I was like, so I was wishing I had something else with me. And again, I would pass on that. I came back to the Shea Terra Rosewater Ester C Collagen Regeneration Facial Mist. I used this morning. Loved it. Really, really liked it. And of course, I've been using this Aubrey Sparkling Mineral Water with the tea tree oil added in, and I really enjoy this combination. I think I will like this Shea Terra, though, better. I can already kind of tell. I did try a couple of their other products, and I see my little red light. The Deep Repair Cream at night didn't do anything for me. Tropical Skin Smoother was okay. This is kind of an exfoliant, and that worked well. Again, though, I have exfoliants that I like and that are working. Hydrating Cactus Mask I used several times because I was dry as a bone. Nothing there that helped me. The Sun Shield, their Sun Shield with the SPF, dried me out. So while I was glad to have the SPF protection, whoa, Nelly. Really drying. Not sure what's in here. I need to check it because something in here was drying out my skin. I noticed that on the days when I used it, I was having even more problems. Their Fabulous Eye Cream was pretty good, and that would be one that I'm going to keep on my list of maybe could do that. And their Revitalizing Night Cream, I did get some hydration out of this, and in fact sometimes during the day when I would put on the Vapor Beauty and find myself drying out, I would pop on some of this even though it's not a day cream. I would just put that on to hydrate in here and up through here. And I frequently do that in dry skin climate for me. I don't touch up as people do with powder. That would be deadly for me. I touch up with moisturizer, and so this was a very good hydrating moisturizer. So this is their Revitalizing Night Cream. That seemed to do some work for me. Not to be confused with their Deep Repair Cream, which not so much. I think that is it in terms of the MyChelle products that I tried. I had the little sample kit, the travel kit, and I went through them again. Not terribly impressed with the serums. I would skip on most of the products, so I think it's easier for me to talk about what I would consider. First of all, their foundation. I'm not a big fan of the concealer. The concealer was drying and too orangey for me, but I do like their foundation, and I am going to try that for the winter. Their Fabulous Eye Cream is something I would keep on my list. Their Revitalizing Night Cream is something that I would keep on my list. I think I would keep the hyaluronic serums on my list just in case to see if those worked. But everything else, no. I can honestly say I'm not going to be going in that direction with their products. So really just foundation, Revitalizing Night Cream, eye cream, possibly the hyaluronic serums. Whew, I gotta go because my little red light is on and I'm about to run out of juice. I am going to try and get some naps in today. I probably won't do the debrief on the makeup until tomorrow. So this is the debrief on my skincare. Enjoy the week. Holy cow, it's Monday. I've totally lost track of time. It's the start of our weeks. Make it a great week. Bye.